My name is Harriet Acquah, Max Diamond Associate.
As well as a mechanical engineer by profession. I grew up in Cape Coast till 1997 when we were transferred to Accra because of my mom's work. I have been working in the oil industry for 6 years, and I parted ways with the oil industry last year, 1st April. I had a very interesting childhood where it was all about the books, the studies.
She was very, very active and very purposeful. So as a result of that, I decided to enroll her in school at a very early age. She was the youngest in her class then, and she didn't play with her books at all. And any time that she came home, I saw to it that her homework and all that was done.
At that time, I wanted to be a doctor like my father, but it was not until I reached GSS 1 that I decided medicine wasn't for me. So I decided to go into engineering. Growing up as well wasn't easy when it came to my weight. I was the youngest in my class, but I was the tallest and the heaviest of them all.
Initially, she didn't like eating food, but as her appetite began to change and she started taking in more food, she started putting on weight. That was when her mates started making fun of her.
At home, even, I was teased. At school, I was also teased. It created this bad feeling, but I was more concentrated on my books. My mom was very strict about it. I actually lost some weight in secondary school, but when I went to university, I put on the weight again. And then I traveled to UK. It just continued like that till I got my first job. I've never taken the helicopter before, so that was my first time. And the gentleman asked me to put my luggage on the scale, and they asked me to stand on the scale. And when I looked at the figure, I got confused. Is it the weight of the luggage and myself, or is it just my weight? And unfortunately, what I saw earlier was actually my weight. I was weighing 102 kilograms. And I was just thinking, what do I do? Well, desperate, circumstance calls for desperate measures. So from work, I'll just check myself in the gym. God being so good, I lost weight, like 7 kilos in 2 months, which I was very excited about. When I came back to Ghana, unfortunately, the weight came back again. I visited the clinic and I checked my weight. I was 102 again. My BP was now at 141/91. And my BP has never been that high before. But I had consolidation, the fact that we were actually launching the MetaSwitch weight management system. So I remember telling the nurse that day that just give me 3 months. This blood pressure will come down. I got onto the switch in December 2015. I went to the clinic again in April. I was weighing 87 kilos at that time, and my BP was now at 127. May of last year, I also got myself a personal trainer. The truth is, I had never been in bikini in my entire life, so I needed to get myself into a bikini body.
From day one, I loved her energy. She was like, I want you to train me, and that's it. She gave me her timetable, she gave me her schedules. We're doing 4 sessions a week, and we were consistent, and she was on point and concise. In spite of her busy schedules, she still got back on track. She was determined, she was focused, she got agility, and she never backed down. She even got an award from me. I actually had to give her a present at the end of the period when saying, look, she was one of my favorite clients, and for that, I salute.
I really worked hard, and as of July last year, I was weighing 182 kilos. I got myself a very beautiful bikini, and Mauritius was a very wonderful trip. I would say that this really impacted me so much with respect to my weight, and actually I haven't gotten my weight above 85 ever since. And I haven't stopped my MetaSwitch since 2015. I'm still on it, and I'm going to be on it till, I don't know if I'll ever get tired of using MetaSwitch. My main motivation for doing Max comes from an experience from my childhood. When my father passed away, I was actually 12 years old at that time.
With God's help, I single-handedly supported and raised her through secondary school and into the university.
I promised myself one thing, that I'll have to provide a good foundation for my children, because I believe that my children, my unborn children, should have a better childhood than I did, should have a better life than even I'm going to have. So even choosing my career as a mechanical engineer, I wanted to go into manufacturing of cars because I thought that's where the money is. So I went into the oil industry. I thought that was a great place to also get some good source of income, but it's not really so in Ghana.
She was introduced to Max by her cousin, and she got to know the products of Max. And one of the products could help her to bring down her weight. So she got interested in Max and started using their products. But somewhere along the line too, she became curious about what Max was all about.
I knew nothing about it till I think 3 months or so after I registered. That's when I really got serious. I said, you know what, I put money into a business, I must see some returns coming out. So it was then I started learning more about Max International. And I must say this, it was when I started doing Max that I realized that this is what I have been looking for all my life. Because I had a prayer since 2014 that God help me touch millions of lives around the world from an overflowing well. And actually my eyes were opened to that reality when I started doing Max properly. In November 2015, when I hit silver, I looked at my salary and I looked at the earnings I was getting from Max. And I said, I don't understand why I'm sitting in the office. So I compared 5 years in Max International to 5 years being in my company. And it was stark difference because I could actually see myself going places, being bigger than I actually thought I could be in Max. So it was then I told my mom, actually I want to do Max full time. And she was like, Harriet, just take it easy. I mean, as you're getting some funds from here, you're also getting some. So I decided to stay. And when I hit gold, February 2016, I was earning twice my salary in Max now. And I said, okay, this is it. I have to quit. To God be the glory. My company decided to lay off all engineers in March. I'm not the same person as I joined Max. No, Harriet 2.5 years after is definitely not the same person because of the personal development, the exposure that I've got in Max, and this is what I really wanted, and I know that there is even more to come. And I really owe it to Max that whatever I had been thinking of since childhood can actually be achieved. And I'm so happy about that.
I've tried Max products myself. The Cellgivity, the N, Fuse, and also the ATP. And I think they are good.
Max basically is about partnering. I mean, as I normally tell people, it is not a buying and selling company. We just want to share opportunity because there are so many people out there who may have similar dreams like mine. And with the compensation plan that we have, which is actually a phenomenal one, that is how we build our income. The only thing is that you just have to keep your focus and actually keep your heart and your mind in the game. I have a big dream of having companies all over Africa. And I know Max is going to get me there because of the skills that I'm learning over here, the entrepreneurial skills that I'm gaining over here. Max is just so wonderful. I've been able to even quadruple my salary in 1.5 years. Try it. Because right now I'm living the kind of life I so wanted to live for so many years. Max wants to give to you to also live that kind of life that you really want to live. Just take that chance. And you thank yourself for doing that.
There's a future in the company. So I'm even thinking of joining it myself, being an active associate member, because I also need to enjoy some of the goodies of Max.
I am Harriet Acquah, and I am Max, and we are Max. Max International. Live the life you want, not the life you have to.